The top financial officials in the United States appeared at a Senate Banking Committee hearing in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, pleading with Congress to act swiftly on a $700 billion plan to bail out Wall Street financial speculators from their bad debts and losses from risky and reckless investments. The legislation that the administration is promoting would have the government buy bad mortgages and other troubled assets from financial institutions at their original price, thus getting those debts off their books. The plan would also give the Treasury Secretary unprecedented powers to spend while offering virtually no oversight. Many legislators were skeptical.
I do not believe, however, that we can solve this crisis by spending a massive amount of money on bad securities.
The prospects for legislation seemed strong, with lawmakers eager to adjourn this week or next for the elections. The Real News spoke to Nomi Prince.
I think the package is actually not just reckless, it's insane for a lot of reasons. One is because the transfer, not just merely of taxpayer money to purchase all of these junky, worthless mortgage securities, but because nor Congress, nor the Treasury, nor the Fed seem to understand just what these securities are comprised with to begin with. The rush that Paulson and Bernanke and bipartisan senators are in to pass some sort of a package is astonishing, given that the rush to create these securities to begin with in such a volume on Wall Street was the reason that we're in this mess to begin with. The proposal itself not only requests $700 billion of money to purchase worthless assets, it has a section in it that no one in Washington seems to have pointed to that says at one time. At one time we can buy $700 billion worth of assets, meaning if they get written down to zero, which is very likely because we are talking about them wanting to buy the most junky assets that exist in finance. And they have a piece in the proposal to buy even more.
So Congress will have to approve this deal.
Congress is going to approve this. The irony is they're not even discussing whether the number is the right number. That's not even a part of the conversation. Should it be $700 billion? Should it be $200? Should it be $2? Should it be There's no conversation even as to why and how that number, which is arbitrary and yet large, has even been determined. There's only a conversation about how quickly the number should be approved, even with some of the Democrats putting forth statements like, we will need to tie this to regulation, we will need more oversight, we might want to tie this to excessive golden parachutes for the CEOs that have been ejected from the posts of firms for which they lost billions of dollars. That's all conversation, because on the other side is, we have to do this quickly. We have an urgent need. If we don't do this, things are going to get worse. The whole world is watching. And all of these statements that imply this urgency to take this random amount of money to buy assets, and somehow that's going to make everything better.
It sounds like weapons of mass destruction all over again.
Precisely. I mean, the difference here is that it will be more expensive in terms of money. It will fortunately not be more expensive in terms of lives, but it is certainly being created with the same kind of fabricated hysteria and urgency that propel us as a country to make really stupid decisions.
Now, the markets, though, the speculators on the stock market, some call them investors, the people who play the stock market, are pretty fickle. Yesterday they got nervous because they didn't get a blank check fast enough. Do you think that this is going to actually stabilize the markets in any way?
This will stabilize the markets for like a day or two of trading. The reality is, this amount of money is not enough to sweep Wall Street clean, even if this were the right solution to increase stability in Wall Street. So it's like a shot of heroin to an addict. I mean, it's like a very quick fix. It's not a solution. So the market or people who invest in financial stocks feel good when there's money coming in, and they feel bad when those effects deteriorate in any way, whether it's because more money is needed or because it's happening too slowly. The solution is to gut the structure of Wall Street and actually put in some very strong measures, like the kind that the Glass-Steagall Act in 1933 put in, which is dissecting risk from consumer assets. But that is not being discussed at all in Washington, except by Senator Brian Dorgan, who's the only one who seems to be mentioning the act, and unfortunately doesn't lead the committee.